and get started. If people come in a little bit later, they can catch up. All right, so I'm going to turn my screen off so I don't distract you. All right. So I'm really excited to have you all here, and I am super excited to dive into this masterclass all about balancing your hormones, regulating your nervous system, and taking back control over your body for women with PCOS who are ready to step into a higher version of themselves. And I'm going to be talking about what I've learned through my own experience with losing weight with PCOS, my health coach training, my Kundalini yoga teacher training, and running women through my protocol, the Empowered Woman's Weight Loss Method. And I'm so excited to share this with you today. All right, so here's the good news. I have a jam-packed this training for you. I know that your time is unbelievably valuable. I know you're busy. I totally get that devoting an hour to anything is a big deal. So I want to give you as much information as possible because I know that this will change your life. All right. So just to introduce myself, hi, I'm Katie. I'm an integrative nutrition health coach, a Kundalini yoga teacher, and a certified personal trainer. And I help women with PCOS lose weight so they can have the energy, confidence, and peace to become a confident, badass goddesses. So today we're going to dive into 3 big topics on how to lose weight easily with PCOS and become confident AF so that you can stop feeling like you're meant for something more and actually be able to live the life that you want. First, you need to understand that being a woman with PCOS means weight loss is different for you. I hear all the time that weight loss is hard for women with PCOS, but I really want to help you bust that myth today and help you reprogram your thoughts to say weight loss for women with PCOS is different, not hard. So the problem with weight loss today is that it is not designed for women with PCOS. Because PCOS comes with a whole host of underlying issues that things like calorie counting and cutting carbs just aren't going to fix. These traditional methods are all focused completely on food and exercise. Now, not to say that those things aren't important, but when it comes to PCOS and unleashing your highest potential, we need to focus on things like stress management and mindset as well. Because these traditional methods are not targeting things like hormonal alignment and toxic overload, they leave you feeling like you're fighting for every single pound you lose and eventually like a huge failure because they don't really work. Because let's be honest, like I said, they are just not designed for PCOS. Weight loss is usually tailored more to men's bodies, and it's all about the go, 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 aggressive, go hard in the gym, do as many reps as possible, keep your willpower up to stay on your diet energy. And this just leads to diet burnout and overwhelm and ultimately failure, especially for women with PCOS. So who here feels like they're fighting against their body when it comes to trying to lose weight? I know I definitely felt that way when I was struggling with my weight. I mean, you've tried all those diets, you've counted calories, spent hours on the treadmill, done challenges, detoxes, tried countless supplements, but those things just don't work for you. That's because these traditional methods focus on the wrong things. It completely ignores the importance of hormonal alignment, healing your stress response, shifting your mindset, and optimizing your energy. And when you're trying to lose weight with PCOS, we have to focus on these things in order to be successful. All right, so in order to lose the weight, calm your PCOS, and become that best version of yourself, we really need to master 3 things. So first, we'll understand how unmanaged PCOS leads to hormonal chaos, causing things like weight gain, irregular cycles, and hair growth, and how to move from a place of hormonal chaos into hormonal alignment. Next, we'll take a look at how your nervous system became dysregulated and how to regulate it so you can release the extra weight. Then lastly, we're going to look at how to take back agency over your body so that you can work with your body rather than fighting against it so that weight loss can become effortless. All right, so this training is packed with a ton of information and I don't want you to miss any of it. So it's important to block out all distractions. We're talking a lot about energy today, so it's important you focus your energy and attention on the training. That means putting your phone down, maybe even leaving it in another room, closing off your tabs. I know I always have like 1,000 tabs open, but you can always come back to them when this is over. But I really want you to get the most out of this training, so make sure you give this your full attention. So if you're excited to get started, put goddess in the chat right now. I'm really happy. We have a great turnout. So that means a lot of people learning a lot of information. That's really exciting. And so we're going to go through all the information and then do a live Q&A at the end. Awesome. Lots of goddesses. I love it. All right. So let me know in the chat box if this sounds like you. You don't understand why your friends and family can lose weight so easily and you can't. You feel like even if you ran marathons every day, you'd still somehow gain weight. You've tried every diet known to man. You constantly stress about what food will do to your body. You literally cannot think of anything other than how the hell can I lose weight? You want to be able to actually enjoy food rather than stressing about what it will do to you. You want nothing more than to feel confident and comfortable in your body and your life. And you feel like your weight is holding you back from truly being able to live your life. Type me in the comments if this sounds like you. Yeah. Got some me's. Yep. All right. So this is one scenario I see a lot. You feel like you're capable of more. You're trying everything you can to take back control of your body, but you feel stuck, which is making you feel overwhelmed and burnt out because you can't figure it all out. This feeling of being trapped is starting to come out in things like the need for control, resenting others, nitpicking at small things that probably don't matter in the long run, perfectionism, getting irritated easily, and eventually feeling lethargic. So not to mention, you can't fit into your clothes, even if they fit yesterday. You spend hours staring at yourself in the mirror, picking apart everything that's wrong with your body. You live your life in flowy athleisure to hide your problem areas. You don't want to be intimate with your partner. You can't go anywhere without worrying what everyone else thinks about how you look. You're tired of watching other people reach their goals while you stand on the sidelines. You're exhausted all day, even after a full night of sleep. You have trouble concentrating. Your sex drive is non-existent, and you get irritated at everyone for even the tiniest things. Tell me in the comments how many of these you're experiencing, right? You start to feel broken and like you're a failure because you just can't seem to get this right. It is not a fun feeling. And this leads to the second stage. This is where you feel the need to be perfect, but you've already tried everything you can think of, and it's just not happening for you. You start to think, why even try if you can't get there? You feel like your weight gain is random anyway, so there's no point in trying to control it. So you go ahead, you eat a pizza because you just said, screw it, but then you feel this massive guilt because you just ate pizza. So tell me in the comments which stage you're in, that first stage of trying and trying and trying and trying and nothing is working, or that second stage where you're feeling like, you know, there's no point in trying, it's not working for me, but you're still feeling that massive guilt. Neither one are fun. That's the second. Yeah. All right. Stage one, got a good mix. All right. So what happens if we don't fix this? Yes, where you are right now isn't optimal, but the thought of what happens if things get worse is terrifying. Here's what I don't want for you: continuing down the path you're on, getting more and more exhausted, gaining more and more weight, feeling like you'll just have to settle for the situation you're in, bored, unfulfilled, living in fear of diabetes or infertility, wondering what just could have been if you could just lose the weight, if you could just push through these blocks and feel like the person you know you were meant to be. I don't want you to hide your light from the world, because by doing that, you're not only cheating yourself, but you're cheating everyone around you as well. You spend the rest of your life settling for being less than, for mediocrity. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to live in a world where people are living less than their highest potential. I want you to shine brightly. So does anyone have that fear, like you'll have to settle for the rest of your life, knowing that there's so much more out there? It's a very scary feeling for sure. Yes, seeing some yeses. Yeah. So I don't say these things to make you feel bad. I say them because I've been through it and I don't want that for you. I felt stuck, scared, confused, like I wasn't worth it. And I don't want you to continue down this path, being okay with mediocrity, not thinking you're worth it. I want to help you realize your full potential because it's there waiting. We just need to activate it. So type "I'm ready" in the chat if you're ready to gain that confidence and activate your potential. You're ready to get that control back, ready to live that life that you really want. And we've got a lot of "I'm ready." That's amazing. All right. So as a woman with PCOS, weight loss is going to be very different for you. These methods you've tried before, like 1,200 calorie diets, personal trainers, detoxes, they don't address the root causes for your weight gain, like insulin resistance, inflammation, and hormonal imbalances in the first place. They don't feel right. They feel very constraining and restrictive, and like you're fighting for your life to lose even 1 pound. That's because these methods aren't designed for women with PCOS and actually work against you rather than for you. You're a star shape trying to fit into a square box. So we need to get you a weight loss plan that is star shaped. Not to mention, most of these methods are only going to be temporary if they work at all, and they can actually cause increased stress, weight gain, low energy, irregular periods, constipation, mood swings, and these are the things that we're trying to prevent, not make worse. That's why we're going to focus on strategies that energetically align with you and work for PCOS so you can have increased energy, have that constant sense of calm, have that confidence to unleash your amazing potential, and have a body that you love. So if you fully understand the process I'm going to share with you today, you're going to become that Zen Mary Poppins superwoman ready to take on the world. Only these women that understand how to balance their mind-body hormone connection, regulate their nervous system, and take back control of their body will be able to have the confidence, energy, and mental clarity and body to turn that hurricane that is your life into perfectly ordered calm. So imagine this: you spring out of bed full of energy. You can't wait to get dressed because you love how you look in every outfit in your wardrobe. You feel calm, cool, and collected, even in the most stressful situations. Your outer confidence matches your inner confidence. You feel like you're reaching your full potential. You look forward to summer because you actually like how you look in shorts and a tank top. Your relationship is on fire because you and your partner can't keep your hands off of each other. And you don't feel like PCOS is running your life. Tell me in the comments if that is what you want. Put a hell yes in the comments if this is the life you want for yourself. Yes, yes, awesome. So this masterclass is definitely for you if you have ambition and are ready to be your highest self. You want to feel confident in control of your body. You want to feel like a Zen goddess instead of like a Tasmanian devil. You want to work with your body instead of fighting against it. And you are ready to embrace your feminine energy and natural energy from the universe flowing through you. Now, I truly mean this when I say this is not going to be a fit for everybody. So if you only care about being stick thin, you don't care about how you get there, you aren't ready to tap into your natural energy, you want a quick fix, or you don't want to take a natural approach, then this masterclass is probably not the best fit for you. Most of my clients have gone on to lose quite a bit of weight, but that's never the only goal. I want more for you than just a nice body. I want you to have the energy, the confidence, and the Zen to crush your goals. So this is not for women who only care about what their dress size is, or who only want to live off of 1,200 calories a day, or try to exercise off their food, for women who are only looking to drink a shake once a day and see 30 pounds magically fall off. If you don't care about your energy, your stress, your higher self, or you only want to look good in a bikini, or you aren't willing to look beyond just food and exercise to solve your problems. Right, so full transparency, at the end of this masterclass, I will be making you an offer for an exclusive opportunity to work with me, because I will be inviting you to work with me one-on-one. So be aware of that and get prepped for it, because I'm so excited to welcome a few of you if you are a perfect fit, because my mission on this planet is to help as many women as possible with PCOS to feel in control of their bodies and align with their highest self so they can look, feel, and perform at their best. Women are the future. Put an amen in the chat if you agree. Yes, so who is ready to dive in? We're going to do that Q&A, like I said, at the end. So make sure you stay until the end. I'll pop back on camera for that. And before we dive into tactics, there is a little history lesson I want to give you on what qualifies me to deliver this life-changing information. All right, we got an amen. Let's go. I love it. All right, so I want to share with you why I know this and why you should listen to me, because let's be real, there's a lot of BS out there when it comes to weight loss and people claiming to have the miracle pill or cleanse or shake, and it's really just a load of BS. So type BS in the chat if you've experienced that. The pills, the shakes, the cleanses, the fad diets, they just don't work. Yeah, I've got a lot of BS. I feel you there. All right, so I've already told you that I'm an integrative nutrition health coach, a personal trainer, and a Kundalini yoga teacher, and that my passion and purpose is supporting women with PCOS and their health journey so they can step into their highest potential and have the confidence to inspire others to do the same. But I too used to struggle with PCOS and my weight. So I struggled with PCOS, my weight, my hormones, and my confidence for years. My doctors would always tell me to lose weight, but the only advice they would give me was to eat less and exercise more. My endocrinologist told me that if I didn't exercise every day, I would get diabetes. And they even handed me this healthy, low-cal fast food guide so I could make better choices. Well, I wasn't going to find them in there. I knew I could do better, and I wasn't about to give up on my health just because a low-cal fast food guide wasn't doing the trick. I swam competitively. I worked out extra on the days I wasn't in the pool. I diligently tracked my calories. I cut out soda, fast food, and quote, bad foods, but never saw any changes. I had PCOS, and instead of seeing it like a roadblock, like all my doctors said it was, I saw it as something to push me even harder to lose the weight. I didn't want to end up with diabetes or fertility issues, let alone be overweight the rest of my life. But it was so hard to fight the exhaustion, the brain fog, and constant self-criticism that came along with the dieting and the failure. My perfectionism caused me constant torment. I knew I was better than this. I knew I was better than my weight. I knew I had the potential to be a force in the world, but I didn't have the confidence to let it show. Can you relate to that in any way? Let me know in the chat if you resonate with that story of feeling like you were hopeless and knowing that there was something out there, just not knowing how. Yeah, got a lot of people that relate to that. Awesome. So what changed is I started understanding a few things. PCOS doesn't mean weight loss is harder. It just means it's different. When your hormones aren't balanced, you won't lose weight. Mindset and energy blockages in the body cause weight gain and hold you back from stepping into your full potential. So things like self-doubt and low self-esteem. Putting pressure on myself to lose weight and be perfect only left me with a dysregulated nervous system, worse PCOS symptoms, and 30 extra pounds. And finally, over-exercising and under-eating were not the solution to my problems. And they were, in fact, making things worse. And that got me to where I am now. Calm, confident, and collected, eating dessert without freaking out about what it will do to my body, filling my closet with crop tops, dropping 6 sizes, hardly any PCOS symptoms, having a regular cycle, not feeling like I had to spend all of my extra time burning off my food, and feeling aligned with my purpose and connected to the universe. By having this protocol at your fingertips, imagine where you could be in 6 months. So consider this your fast pass. All right, so let's dive into the 3 pillars. So again, the first one is achieving hormonal alignment, how to balance your hormones so they function optimally and stop the random weight gain. Pillar number 2, regulate your dysregulated nervous system, healing your stress response so you can become a Zen goddess warrior. And 3, reclaim agency over your body, how to take back control over your body and work with your natural cycle so you can easily lose weight and unleash your inner goddess. All right, so pillar number 1, hormonal alignment, balancing your hormones so they work for you, not against you. So you've probably heard talk about balancing your hormones if you've had PCOS for a while, but that can be kind of a vague term or one that feels confusing, or maybe you aren't sure which hormones to focus on or how to balance them. So let's break this down. As a woman with PCOS, the big hormones you need to focus on balancing are insulin and androgens. Yes, other hormones are going to be very important, and we'll talk about those, but the big 2 with PCOS are the androgens and the insulin, and they actually affect and are affected by other hormones. So let's take a closer look. We'll start with insulin. So 70% of women with PCOS are also insulin resistant. So if you've ever been told you're insulin resistant, you're pre-diabetic, or are diabetic, this one is especially important for you. Insulin is what helps your cells absorb glucose for energy. But when you're insulin resistant, your body is overproducing insulin because your cells aren't recognizing insulin anymore, and your blood sugar spikes. This blood sugar spike can also happen when you eat a lot of carbs, which is why a lot of women with PCOS are told to try keto or try low carb diets to help control insulin levels and reduce insulin resistance. But these are just short-term fixes because your body needs carbs, and carbs help you balance your blood sugar and insulin levels. So what are some signs that you are insulin resistant? There's weight gain, cravings, especially for sugar or sweets, energy crashes, feeling hungry even after you just ate, having to pee, but like a lot, tingling in the hands and or feet, stress or anxiety, or you can't handle stress, like something stresses you out and you just cry even if it's something small, and high androgens. So maybe that's showing up as acne, irregular cycles, or hair growth. So tell me in the chat if you are experiencing these, if you are insulin resistant, if this is resonating with you. Yes, we've got some yeses. All right. All right, so now the other big issue for women with PCOS is excess androgens, which you'll notice can be caused by insulin resistance. So androgens are hormones in women that we typically think of as providing male traits like testosterone. That's because excess insulin can tell your ovaries to produce extra testosterone, which is an androgen. But you do not have to be insulin resistant to have PCOS or excess androgens. However, if you have PCOS, you most likely have excess androgens like testosterone. So this shows up as irregular cycles, acne, weight gain, hair where you don't want it. So like your chin, your stomach, your chest, and even thick hair on your arms, balding on your head, mood swings, and low libido. So let me know in the chat if this resonates with you, if this is something that you are experiencing. Here we've got a couple people experiencing that as well. All right. And unfortunately, these hormonal imbalances can also affect progesterone, estrogen, and cortisol levels. And this can mean stress, PMS, heavy or painful periods, trouble getting pregnant, fatigue, trouble sleeping, racing thoughts, low libido, brain fog, infertility, or trouble getting pregnant, bloating, and headaches. So if you are experiencing any of the things I mentioned in the past few slides, then you are in a state of hormonal chaos. So how do we move from a state of hormonal chaos into a state of hormonal alignment? So first, let's define hormonal alignment. This is when your hormones are balanced and working properly. When you're in a state of hormonal alignment, that's when you can reach and maintain a healthy weight. Your cycles are regular and pain-free. There's no PMS. There's no hair on your stomach, your chest, or your face. You are ovulating regularly and you don't experience issues with getting pregnant if that's your goal. You can handle stress without freaking out, and there is no random weight gain. So type me in the comments if you know that you need to get into a state of hormonal alignment, if that is what you want, if that is one of your goals. We've got a lot of me's. Awesome. All right. So luckily, moving into a state of hormonal alignment is quite simple because we can make easy lifestyle changes. So first we have eating for blood sugar balance. So that means making sure that you are including a good source of protein and fat at each meal, and also making sure that you're getting a good source of fiber. The next one is big, and I know it can seem scary because a lot of times we are told carbs are the enemy, but eating carbs to promote hormonal alignment. Now, this doesn't mean eating, a ton of bread and pasta, because those are processed simple carbs, and those can contribute to blood sugar spikes and insulin resistance. But what we're talking about when eating carbs is things like cruciferous vegetables, fiber-rich carbs, so things like sweet potatoes and root vegetables, and eating for gut health. So again, eating these prebiotic foods, eating fermented foods to help populate your gut microbiome, really eating to promote hormonal alignment. Next, we have avoiding food sensitivities. Now, notice I said avoid. I never ever tell my clients that they have to cut out completely for the rest of their life, because that is very hard. It's a very restrictive mindset, and we don't want to fall into that trap. So when we're talking about food sensitivities, we're not talking about being intolerant or having an allergy or any sort of autoimmune disease, like with people who can't eat gluten. We're talking about things that show up more, that are going to cause inflammation, that are going to mess with your gut microbiome. So this can show up as things as small as headaches, joint pains, eczema, bloating, small things like that. And the ones that are the most common and that affect the most women with PCOS are going to be gluten, dairy, sugar, soy, and alcohol. Those are really the big ones for PCOS. Next, we have eating clean. So making sure that you're eating organic and avoiding foods with a lot of toxins in them. Now, when I say toxins, that doesn't mean they are literally going to kill you if you eat them, but these are things that are chemicals and processed foods that are going to cause disruptions in your endocrine system and lead to further hormonal chaos. And then finally, we have exercising in a way that doesn't stress the body. So that means exercising for your PCOS type and exercising to make you feel good, not feeling stressed or hating your life. You shouldn't feel exhausted or dizzy or nauseous or like you hated what you just did after you exercise. You should exercise to feel strong and energized and to have fun. And making changes that are necessary for PCOS that we don't typically think about when it comes to weight loss is also very necessary. So this includes correcting toxic overload. So making sure you're using personal care products, household cleaners, and food packaging that don't have those endocrine disrupting chemicals in them. working on your mindset and your chakras. So looking at your fears, your limiting beliefs, and your negative thought patterns, and how this affects the physical. One thing that I really work with my clients is understanding that mind-body connection, because a lot of times we forget about that, but that's really important when it comes to weight loss and working with PCOS. And then finally, we have managing stress, which is going to be our next pillar. So go ahead and type alignment in the chat if you know that balancing your hormones is something that you definitely need to work on. Yeah, awesome. Several. All right. So next up, we have a dysregulated nervous system. So as a woman with PCOS, life can feel overwhelming. Not only are you constantly trying to lose weight, feeling like there's something wrong because it just seems unattainable, but you also have all of these worries in the back of your mind, like what happens if you never get control of your weight? What happens if you get diabetes? Will I ever be able to get pregnant? Am I going to be miserable and sick the rest of my life? On top of that, a lot of women with PCOS are prone to anxiety and have trouble dealing with stress because of the hormonal imbalances that come along with PCOS. So the stress of having PCOS, stress itself, feeling stressful, and the stress of daily life all contribute to the dysregulation of your nervous system. So stress is part of our daily lives, especially in Western culture. It's like this badge of honor. The more stress you have, the more successful you are, which isn't true, but a little stress is okay. It's when you're constantly bombarded with stress that things start to go south. So stress can come from more obvious things like work, family, societal pressure, like feeling like you need to fit in, health, finances, diet, exercise, especially over-exercising, and PCOS, both the hormonal imbalances and the everyday burden of trying to manage it. And of course, there is the stress we put on ourselves, like feeling like you need to be on a specific timeline or that you're running out of time, not feeling like you're living your purpose or living the life that you know you're capable of, feeling like you need to fit into a certain mold, feeling out of control, fear of judgment from others, and feeling stuck and or helpless. This constant stress fries your nervous system, leaving you in a constant state of stress or fight or flight. And even though this isn't voluntary, you are literally teaching your body to stay in this cycle constantly. Even though you aren't in any immediate danger you need to escape from, your body can't tell the difference anymore. Your sympathetic nervous system completely takes over, leaving you exhausted, irritable, and in a fog. So your sympathetic nervous system is what helps you escape when a tiger is chasing you. It sends all of your energy to your extremities so you can run for your life. Cortisol and adrenaline surge, and things like digestion and detoxification take a backseat because you don't need those to run away. When your sympathetic nervous system takes over, this leads to overproduction of cortisol and insulin, which can cause weight gain, fatigue, low libido, anxiety, racing thoughts, cravings, and trouble sleeping. This is especially bad for women with PCOS, like we just talked about with the hormonal chaos. Insulin resistance is one of the most common symptoms with PCOS, and too much stress can make insulin resistance worse and making it even harder to lose weight. And insulin resistance will elevate cortisol levels, making you more stressed. It's a vicious cycle we need to solve so that you not only feel less stressed, but so you can also lose weight more easily. Not to mention, too much cortisol also impedes the production of progesterone, making weight gain easier, aggravating PMS, and causing all-day bloating. Basically, when your nervous system is dysregulated, your parasympathetic nervous system can't do its thing, and you just experience a lot of unnecessary symptoms and even more hormonal chaos. So your parasympathetic nervous system is what we call the rest and digest nervous system. It's the one that's important when it comes to proper detoxification, proper digestion, hormonal alignment, including major players in PCOS like androgens, insulin, and sex hormones, weight loss, relaxation, mindfulness, and attunement to your body. This last point is really important because a lot of times what happens in our society, and especially with PCOS, is that we don't feel in control of our bodies or our health. And we're going to dive into this into the next pillar, but it's really important to develop that connection to your body so you can tell what's going on. So just like we talked about when we were talking about hormonal alignment, your body gives you signals. They aren't random and they don't just happen, but if you are constantly in a state of stress with a dysregulated nervous system, you have no baseline for what your normal is because your body is in a state of panic 24/7. And we don't want your normal to be panic. What we want is for you to calibrate your energy to a state of calm relaxation so that you can calibrate your health and your body to a state of healing. So when you can calibrate to that state of calm, that's when you experience things like self-respect, self-compassion, a healthy sense of drive, relaxation, proper digestion, proper detoxification, and weight loss. So how do we regulate a dysregulated nervous system? First of all, stop over exercising. When we exercise too much, it puts a lot of stress on the body, elevating your cortisol levels. And again, that is the opposite of what we want. So we want to exercise enough, but not to the point where we're just on the treadmill trying to burn as many calories as possible, where we're not spending hours in the gym. Next, focusing on yoga. Yoga is really great because it helps you develop that mind-body connection and really help you calm your stress as well. So it's helping you regulate your nervous system, bring your stress level down, and helping you tap into that bodily intuition. Then we have a meditation, which is also really great. It helps you having a meditation practice is really great for learning to be not so reactive. So when we have that emotion like, oh no, I'm so worried about what I'm going to eat, meditating will help you detach from reacting to that emotion. Next, we have creating boundaries that leave space for self-care. And a lot of women struggle with creating boundaries because we're caretakers. We feel like we need to put everyone else's needs first, but it is very important that you do create boundaries for yourself, especially when it comes to creating time for self-care. And then lastly, we have practicing acceptance and gratitude to really help you put you into that abundant mindset. So tell me in the comments how you would feel if you were able to regulate your nervous system. Put awesome if you know that you would feel awesome if you could regulate your nervous system. Amazing. Awesome. Awesome. Calmer. Yes, I love that. All right. So now we have pillar number 3, reclaim control over your body. So who is excited to learn about this one? Put a yes in the chat if you are ready to learn how to be in control of your body. I know for me, this was a big one when I was struggling. You just feel totally out of control with PCOS. Awesome. We have a lot of yeses. Amazing. So unfortunately, many women with PCOS are told or are made to feel like they have no control over what happens to them. They're just told that they're going to be overweight, get diabetes, and never be able to get pregnant. Tell me in the chat if you've experienced this, like there was no way to control what was going to happen to you, that your body is broken and you can't fix it, and you just have to sit around and wait for all of these bad things to happen for you. I know that definitely happened to me. We've got a lot of yes, got to just birth control. Yeah. So your body is not broken and you have the power to lose weight, not get diabetes and fall pregnant naturally. The first step in achieving this is realizing that you've been fed a bunch of BS and you are in fact in control. Once you take on the responsibility of that control, then you can work with your body rather than fighting against it and watch the weight come off easily. One of the big things I teach my clients with my protocol is to work more with their feminine energy. Now, this has nothing to do with being a woman. It's just a type of energy. But feminine energy is all about going with the flow, nurturing intuition, and having fun. So how many of you have ever tried a diet or exercise program that felt fun or like you just went with the flow? I know that that is a very rare thing to find. So yeah, no, never. Yeah. So unfortunately, most weight loss programs are not feminine energy driven. They are all about the go, 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 do the most. And that is not good for PCOS. So what I help my clients do is move from that mindset and method of fighting their bodies to one where they're working with their bodies. And one of my favorite ways to do that is by teaching them how to work with their cycles. So unfortunately, most women are not taught that our 28-day cycle is more than just our period and the time between. Your cycle is actually broken down into 4 phases: menstruation, the follicular phase, ovulation, and the luteal phase. Each phase affects your mood, your appetite, and your energy levels differently. Working with the natural hormonal changes within your cycle allows your feminine energy to shine through and allows you to really work with your body rather than fighting against it. So what does working with your cycle look like? It's the ability to eat yummy foods like chocolate. I'm a huge chocolate person, so I love that. Ability to give yourself permission to rest, to just be, feeling more in tune with your body, really developing that intuition, lower stress, and easier weight loss. So type divine goddess into the chat if these are things you want: to be able to eat chocolate, to be able to rest when you want, to have easier weight loss and lower stress. Awesome. Yes, 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 yes. Awesome. All right. So your cycle is dynamic. Your hormones are constantly changing in the same pattern throughout your 28-day cycle, and so are the needs of your body. Most traditional weight loss programs are stagnant, meaning they give you a protocol that you stick to the entire time you're on that protocol. It's the same food guidelines, same exercise routine over and over and over and over. The reason for that is because most of these methods are not designed around the female body or our dynamic cycles. They were designed around men's bodies, and men don't have a cycle like we do. Their hormones aren't constantly changing like ours. So trying to stick to a plan designed for male bodies is like trying to feed your dog bird food. It's food for pets, but it's not for dogs. So let's take a closer look at the 4 phases and what I teach my clients. I find it's easiest to think of the phases of your cycle like the 4 seasons. So first we have menstruation, and this is like winter. So this is obviously your period. It is a time to rest, relax, and eat warm, nourishing foods. This is not the time to hit up the gym and do a really tough workout. I used to do that before I knew about the phases of the cycle. I would go to the gym, do a really hard workout, and leave feeling like crap, like I was going to throw up because I didn't know that I was supposed to rest then. Next, we have the follicular phase, and you can think of this like spring. So this is when your energy is on the rise. It's a good time to kick up the intensity in your workouts, maybe do some high intensity interval training or some more intense weightlifting, and eat lighter foods. So this is a good time for things like salad, for wild caught salmon, and nice light foods like that. Next, we have ovulation, and you can think of this like summer. This is when your energy is at its peak. It's a great time for high intensity interval training. Light cooling foods are good. So raw foods are really good during this time. Again, salads and smoothies are really good. And this is also a time when your libido is high. So it is a good time to spend time with your partner. And then finally, we have the luteal phase, and you can think of this like fall. So this is the time to start chilling out. It's a good time for yoga and Pilates, maybe some more gentler forms of exercise, incorporating more complex carbs because your metabolism actually slightly increases during the luteal phase. So you're really starting to get into that hibernation mode. So most other diets are designed around calorie restrictions, intense workouts, fasting, or eliminating foods just because. They don't take into account that your caloric needs change, the kinds of food you need change, and the kind of exercise you need changes depending on where you are in the cycle. Now, I know that a really common symptom with PCOS is irregular or totally absent periods. My periods used to be all over the place. So if you're like, but I don't have a regular cycle, worry not. You can also cycle sync to the moon. So this is how this breaks down. So when it's the new moon, that is when you can think of this being your time of your period. During the waxing moon, so when the moon is moving from new into full, that is like your follicular phase. When the moon is full, you can think of that as ovulation. And then when the moon is waning or going back down to that new moon, that is like the luteal phase. The moon is also a really great source of feminine energy. So aligning with her cycle will still allow you to tap into that feminine energy. And once you balance your hormones and blood sugar and regulate your nervous system, this will help your cycle return and start to get more normal, because the biggest offenders when it comes to an irregular cycle are high insulin levels or insulin resistance, high testosterone levels, high cortisol levels or too much stress, over exercising, and low progesterone levels. And these are all common issues for women with PCOS. All right, so before we continue, I just wanted to remind you of why you all showed up today. So you showed up because you want to have the confidence to prove to yourself and the world that you are capable of reaching your full potential and stop feeling like your weight is what's holding you back. So think about how you would feel if you didn't have to spend all day worrying about what to eat. You didn't feel like everyone was constantly judging you. You could enjoy chocolate without feeling guilty. You didn't have to spend all your extra time working off your food. You had more energy. You didn't have to constantly worry about things like diabetes and infertility due to your weight. You could float through stressful situations with grace and ease. You didn't snap at your partner for small things that don't really matter. You increase the closeness and trust between you and your partner because you look forward to being intimate, and you had a clear picture of what you're meant to do in this life, because this is possible for you. And at the beginning of this training, I made you a promise. I promised you that by the end of this masterclass, you would know the exact pillars you need to become a Zen warrior goddess so that you can stop feeling like you're meant for something more and be able to take back control of your body and calm your PCOS symptoms. Now, here's the thing I want you to remember. Everything I've shared with you today isn't some random theory or some idea that I think might work for you. Everything I've walked you through today works. It worked for me and it's worked for my clients who all started from a similar spot that you're in right now. I'm not special and they aren't special. We all have work, family, and other obligations. We've all been in that seemingly never-ending diet cycle, and we all want to live our highest potential. And if I could do it, and if they could do it, then I am so confident that you can do it too. So now you have a choice. You can continue to do what you're doing, counting calories, fighting against your body, driving your nervous system into further and further chaos, hoping that it works, even though it never has before. Or you can choose the simpler path and book a PCOS deep dive session with me so you can get to your goal. I am on a mission to support women with PCOS, both on their health and their mindset journeys. I don't want you to continue to be frustrated, continue to feel stuck, and never be able to share your light with the world. So now this seminar is just a sneak peek into how I help my clients. And as a professional who deeply cares about you and your health, your body, and mental well-being, it would be irresponsible for me to end this seminar without explaining exactly how I can further support you. All right. So I'm so honored to be sharing this opportunity with you today, because the best way I can help you is by personally supporting each of you with a highly personalized one-on-one coaching. So with my protocol, we are going to master the 3 things that we talked about today: hormonal alignment, regulating your nervous system, and taking back control of your body. So we spend 90 minutes diving into your specific goals, your needs, and your lifestyle, and look at the exact steps that you personally need to take in order to calm your PCOS. So the women I've worked with in the past have seen reduced PCOS symptoms, weight loss, increase their confidence, their sense of calm in their stressful situations. They have improved mental clarity. They no longer feel like they're on a diet. They have a deeper connection with their energy and their body. They feel more aligned with their higher selves, and they've lost 15 to 30 pounds in the course of 3 months. So let's take a look at just a couple of success stories. So first, I want to tell you about Marla. Marla came to me when she was at her heaviest weight. She had tried low-cal, low-carb, Beachbody, plant-based diets, but nothing worked for her. She felt restricted and viewed dieting as punishment. The worst part was she never saw results. She was still overweight. She still had bad PMS and painful periods. She wanted to stop the dieting and make changes that would allow her to take back control over her body without feeling like she was limited. After working with me for 3 months in the Empowered Woman's Weight Loss Method, Marla drastically reduced her PMS, lost 23 pounds, and feels confident and in control of her body. And she loves eating brownie sundaes. So here's what Marla had to say about her time in the program. I've learned so much about my hormones, my body, and food, and how they all work together. Now that I know how these work together, I feel better, look better, and have a different relationship with food. I know what my body needs and to treat food as medicine for my body. My skin even cleared up, my hair is a bit thicker, and my nails are awesome. I never feel deprived of anything. I actually feel like I have more options and ways to be creative in the kitchen. I also don't have to count calories or carbs. My lifestyle has changed completely, and I love it. And then there's Sherry. Sherry also came to me after realizing that not only was she at her heaviest weight, but that the scale was continuing to move in the wrong direction. When we first talked about getting her started, she was very hesitant. She was worried that it wouldn't work because she had tried so many things already. She was discouraged because she wasn't sure anything would work. And she had what she described was the palate of a small child, because she liked to eat a lot of spaghetti and tacos and chicken nuggets. But Sherry's decision to work with me turned out to be one of the best decisions she ever made. She ended up losing 27 pounds and a combined 13.5 inches from her waist, bust, and hips. And her energy went from a 5 out of 10 to an 8 out of 10. Not to mention her internal transformation was amazing as well. She went from telling me she would need to have constant hand holding to having a deep understanding of her body and her cycle. By the end of her time in the program, her confidence shone through in all of our calls. Now, I know that the term health coach can be a little scary and might bring up visions of Beachbody babes on Instagram encouraging you to down shakes like there's no tomorrow, or other health coaches, quote, that live in toxic positivity. But I assure you that I actually got certified as an integrative nutrition health coach through the Institute for Integrative Nutrition and completed supplemental certifications in both gut health and hormonal health. And of course, the years I spent on my own weight loss journey with PCOS. I do this so you don't have to spend 12 years of your life in misery like I did. And not to mention my Kundalini yoga teacher training and my personal trainer certification. This unique combination is what allows me to work with women on so many different levels, from nutrition to exercise to mindset to limiting beliefs. I promise I won't be feeding you any BS about calories or shakes or miracle workouts. And I know that a lot of you have been told by your doctors or Google or other PCOS influencers that there isn't a lot of hope when it comes to managing your weight and PCOS, or that you have to follow a super specific restrictive diet and work out 2 hours a day. You've been told it's hard, if not impossible, or that the only way to see progress is by taking birth control or metformin, or you feel like you've tried everything possible and think there is literally nothing else for you. But I want you to know that I and all the women that I've helped all experience the same feeling of being told, no, this is impossible, over and over again, of receiving BS advice and thinking there's nothing out there for you, of trying every possible diet and exercise plan and feeling like crazy people for working so hard with little to no results to show for it. But there is help. My protocol is designed specifically for women with PCOS who want to naturally calm their symptoms and lose weight. This is all done through simple lifestyle changes, no pills, no shakes, no detox teas, none of that. All right, so do you want to be next? Remember, you showed up today because you want to take control of your body and your PCOS so you can love the way you look and feel. So if you're ready to commit to this journey, I am ready to support you. I'm dropping the link in the chat box right now, so you can go ahead and click that and book your session. And all you have to do is click and complete your booking. And I do have only 5 spots available for one-on-one coaching this month. So if you are serious about that, then I would hop on that. All right, so we did it, everyone. That is all of the information I have for you today. As I said before, my mission, my purpose on this planet is to save the right women from having to experience what I did and give them a simpler way to achieve weight loss, even with PCOS. So if you've signed up for a deep dive, I can't wait to work closely with you. All right, so now it's time for the Q&A. So I am going to pop back on camera for that. And if you have a question, go ahead and type it in the comments and I can get to that. If you don't, that's totally fine. If you weren't sticking around for the Q&A, if I answered all your questions already, or if you forget, if you're like, oh, I have questions, but I can't remember, you can always shoot me an email as well. I think everyone's on the email list. I haven't got any questions yet that I see. So if there are no questions, again, that's totally fine. If you do have a question, go ahead and pop it in the chat. I'll wait a couple more seconds. All right, so I'm not getting any questions, which is good. That means I hopefully answered all of your questions. Again, if you do have questions, if something pops up after, I will be sending out the replay if you want to watch this again. Or if a question pops up, you can just shoot me an email, or if you're in the Facebook group or follow me on Instagram, you can DM me there. But that is all that we have today. Thank you guys so much for coming out. I'm really excited that I got to share all of that with you. I love empowering you, giving you as much knowledge as possible so that you can really take control of your body and your PCOS. So thanks again for coming, and I will see you guys in the Facebook group, on Instagram, and an email.